I am super excited to do another video. The excitement is thanks to your friend Rabi who has actually decided to volunteer so that my good friends who are having some challenges with their hearing can also be part of this amazing opportunity of how they could actually better their career life. Thank you so much, Rabi, for this very opportunity. Hi, and welcome again to another video from the Happiest HR. In this video, I will talk about how to act during an interview. We are building on the last week video, which we talk about tips to ease and to ace an interview. So let's get on right into it. But before we get into it, I just want to say big thank you and shout out to everyone who has actually shared the video. We were 183, and as at the time that we are doing this video, we are 186. There's an addition. Thank you for all the comments. I so much appreciate, and it is my pleasure because I want people in the community that are having challenge and be marginalized to also be able to be part of this very amazing opportunity to make their life better. Getting a call for an interview is another positive step. It's not, however, the end of the road. There are many things that you can do that can take you off that place. And sometimes most of the things that happen, what we do at interview, is not just what you say, is how you act. I have heard a statement that act it or fake it until you make it, and it's true also with an interview. You need to be a very good actor whenever you get to an interview. First thing you need to know, number one, is that an interview is about building perception. Remember, except for people who are actually internal candidates, for external candidates, the interviewer has just 45 to 1 hour to be able to assess you. And for them to assess you, they have to make a quick assessment of you, try to read who you are, what you are, and they will ask you questions, sometimes behavioral questions, simple questions. Tell me about a time when. Those behavioral questions are to be able to assess who you are. You need to understand that. So first thing you need to do, first thing you need to know when you're going for an interview, know that you are on an acting game. Yes, take it is from an HR. I am telling you, it's usually those people who know how to act the part that get the job. So sad indeed. In other words, your attitude can go a long way. Interviewers are not just wondering if you are skilled enough for the job, but they're also wondering if you will fit nicely into their own setting. Your personality is a big part of your interview. Pay close attention to this very thing, beside the fact that knowledge that is a perception game that you need to act accordingly. Remember, I told you something in the last video. I did mention the fact that there are some attitude that you will do that the interview will have to look at. Today I'm just dedicating particularly to how you need to act. So first thing, remember, is a perception game. It's a perception game. Interview is a perception game, and the interviewer is trying as much as possible to break through that wall and know exactly who you are. Number two, keep your mouth clear and clean. You see, in acting, you have to present yourself, and you should be able to present yourself in such a way that you're communicating clearly. No actor comes, so let's say for example, you find someone, which actor should I be mentioned? Oh, I'm going for Will Smith, comes and says, today I'm going to have to tell you about how you can you will not hear anything. So as much as possible, cleanse your mouth, put your mouth clean and clear. But also understanding that I'm also talking to people who are having some disability challenge, who have a different kind of ability, who probably are not able to speak. How do they? Hygiene, oral hygiene is very important. 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 You do not want to be chewing gums or breath mints during an interview. You also don't want to speak in slang during your interview. For those of us who are signing, who do not speak, you don't also have to sign in slang. It's unprofessional to behave that way, and it's rude. And the next thing is you need to show confidence. You cannot enter into an interview with a defeatist attitude. I've seen some people, haven't you observed, you go to an interview, the whole panel is excited, and there's some people just come, you are not excited because you carry an energy into the environment that you get into. So if you enter an interview room with a defeatist attitude, or enter an interview thinking that they are already selected who they want to select, enter an interview feeling that they are just trying to fulfill formalities, you are losing out. I went to an interview one certain time, and then at the end of the interview, the HR manager, the operations manager then, who was the heading the HR, who was supposed to be my manager if I get the job, was chatting with somebody from another organization. They chatted so well. I was almost tempted to think that the new HR, of course the new HR, I guess from one of the HR meetings or somewhere, I don't know exactly, but I was almost tempted to think that that was just a gunner for me. But I decided to do Master Corey, forget what I've seen, so forget what you see. Focus on the part you are coming to play. And I gave all the shoot and the shot, and I made it. I also understand that sometimes in one place I went, there were internal candidates there, and those internal candidates, there's likelihood to think that they were already the best. But guess what? Even in my history of interviewing people who are actually internal candidates, external candidates always make it and bust through. Do you know why? Because they always come knowing that they have all to give. They give all their all, whereas the internal candidate sometimes just enter and think that they already has it. So always have a confident attitude and demonstrate that confident attitude. It's always important. First impression lost can never be regained. First impression lost can never be regained. So always show confidence. Make a good impression. One of my former supervisors did mention to me, she said that the first day I went for an interview, I made a good impression. That impression is very important, and almost even for the feedback I usually ask for interview, I have been told that I always make a good impression. The thing is, I go, it's a do and do affair. So you either do and don't, and so you go there doing and doing. Hey, talking about impressions though, be sure your abilities. Be sure of your abilities. Be sure of your ability without appearing cocky or narcissistic. You want to let your interviewer know that you are equipped to perform well and do your job without alienating other workers. You should point out your accomplishment in your field while remaining somehow humble, not over humble per se. List your accomplishment in a matter of fact way without going into too much detail, because too much detail can be held against you. I know this sounds repetitive, but you can never get this point too strongly. Understand that your body language plays a large part in exuding confidence to others. So therefore, sit straight, practice good posture, and keep your heads up. That being said, keep a positive attitude. You should always try to smile and keep a positive outlook during your interview. If you're hearing something that doesn't sound good to you, don't frown and look disgruntled. Just keep a slight smile on your face until the time it's your turn for you to say something. Then approach your interviewer. It's appropriate. Sometimes some things are said to check your behavior, so don't let your behavioral interview don't let a behavioral interview hit you off the rail. Maintain eye contact is important. Keep maintaining eye contact, but I'm not saying that staring. Keeping eye contact with your interviewer is very important, especially when one of you is speaking to the other. If you are looking around the room or other item on the interview, like I did mention in the last video, you will appear uninterested. Just imagine what you will be thinking if you were speaking to him, and he was looking all over the room and would probably think that you already lost the interview. So please, as much as possible, I attended one interview, and the country director was busy working on her hair. I almost thought that I actually lost the interviews, which bring me to the point: forget what they are doing. Forget what they are doing. Because as she was doing that, my understanding of body language shows that she was uninterested. She had actually given up. But and that could have also brought a defeat for me. But I knew where I was. Therefore, I'd come a long distance. I've traveled all the way from Lafayette, Nasarawa State, more than 120 kilometers, 2 hours drive to get to that interview, and I was not ready to let it go. So I gave it all of myself. And I forgot what she was doing, the distraction that was going on. So that behavior will also help you. You see, when you are acting, one thing happens: you have the cameraman on the other side, you have things that fall on the other side, you have people who are being distracted, you have crew, you have people you have other persons who are trying to just arrange and set the costume of the other part is going on. So you're likely to get distracted. Don't let these things distract you. Move on to your interview knowing that you have a goal to achieve. Anyway, regarding this same country director, it turned out that was actually a habit. She always have her hands on her hair. Well, I never gave her that feedback. I wish I'd given her that feedback until she left or I left the organization. So these are very important. Don't let other people distract you. Focus on why you are there. Her body language was my distraction, so also your body language could become somebody's else distraction. We've touched on the issue of body language a bit, but you should mind some of the common errors that many people make when they are speaking to others. I've listed some of the common things that you should avoid when sitting through an interview. I must let you know that I pay great deal of attention to how you act as well as how that align with what you say. I am not the only person. Many of the interviewers actually do that. Now bringing me to some of the things you should not do. Avoid fidgeting while speaking to your interviewer. It sounds like a lack of self-confidence. Avoid speaking while using overly expressive hand gestures, and it could be very distracting. Avoid biting your lips between sentences. I mean, avoid biting your lip within 10 sentences. I just wanted to add that for you to see. It gives the impression that you are making things up. Do not sit your arms crossed because it makes you appear to stand off. Do not shrug your shoulders when asked a question you are unsure of, or take a second to think, usually when you're asked a question that you're not very sure of, and your responses. And then you could answer accordingly. Don't answer with nods and head shake. Use your words to answer questions. Yes? Now give us a yes. No. Now give us a no. N-O. Let's hear it from your mouth. The day before the interview, get plenty of sleep. The night before the interview. You don't want to come to the interview looking tired, but ragged and yawning. We are likely to think that you are expressing boredom. It's not good for you. So get plenty of sleep is very important. So this is something you need to know. So this is all from this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, kindly like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any upcoming video. And feel free to share with your circle, your social circle, your circle of friends, everywhere you want to. If you want to download the video and send, you could do that and send. I'm so happy to have been part of your life. Once again, my name is Ansem. I'm your career breakthrough sidekick. Anyway, thanks again to Rabiu for making this possible so that it's being extended beyond a wider community. And for those of you who want to get in touch with Rabiu, I will leave his number just here so that you could reach out to him if you're looking for some interpretation gig, for some sign language gig. He uses especially the American Sign Language. So thank you so much.